What's up everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's finally here, high protein vegan meal prep. I'm excited. I'm just gonna get straight into it today. I will show you, let me just show you this over here. I like to call it vibrance and nutrition. So many vegetables. These recipes are gonna be absolutely great. We're gonna start off with a chickpea and lentil curry. I'm gonna show you how to make that right now. First up, large frying pan, put it on a kind of medium heat, 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Make sure the oil's nice and hot, and then we're going to add 1 white onion. I like to leave my onion chopped in long, thin strands like that. Just adds a nice bit of texture later on to the curry. Make sure it's all broken up. So once the onions have been frying for about 5 minutes, you'll see it's starting to brown off a little bit. Now it's time to add in our ginger. Just chop that up pretty finely. It's about a thumb-sized cube of ginger in there. 4 cloves of garlic, which I've crushed. Give that a good stir. So that's been frying for a couple of minutes. Now it's time to add all of our spices. So we're gonna start with a tablespoon of cumin, a tablespoon of cumin seeds. You could just use another tablespoon of ground cumin. Roughly a teaspoon of ground coriander, and a teaspoon of crushed chilies, teaspoon of turmeric. It's really, really good for you, turmeric. I love it. And finally, a tablespoon of garam masala. Now, if you don't have any of these, or you can't be bothered to put all of those in, maybe miss out 1 or 2, and then you want to mix it in to the onions. Now, you'll notice it's getting a little bit dry, so you add a little tiny bit of water, mix it in, and you'll notice it becomes a bit like a paste. The spices are really aromatic at this point. It smells absolutely gorgeous. Do with a little bit more water again. Okay, so once you've got it in this kind of runny, kind of saucy state, you just want to let it fry for a couple of minutes. Okay, so in go our chickpeas. Now that's 400 grams of chickpeas, which is quite a lot, but that's going to be our main protein source for this meal. So it's quite important that we get a lot of chickpeas in there. So you're just going to stir that into the onions and the spices and the ginger and the garlic. Get it covered in all that flavour. Okay, so once that is mixed in really well, now it's time to add our chopped tomatoes. Give it a good stir. Okay, so look at that. That's been simmering away for about 5 minutes now. Looks amazing. The tomatoes are starting to cook down. Now is a good time to add some delicate flavours. So I'm going to add a couple of teaspoons of sugar. And then you want to season it with salt and pepper to taste. And then we have 250 ml of vegetable stock. Just gonna go in there, give it a good mix up, turn the heat up so it starts to simmer away, and then we're gonna cover it and leave it there for about 20 to 30 minutes. And you wanna check on it quite regularly, give it a stir, make sure it's not sticking at the bottom, and then it's nearly done. So this has been simmering away for about 20 minutes. Looking pretty good to me. Give it a stir, thickening up nicely. So now we'll add the final 2 ingredients. Lentils, adding a little bit more protein into this dish, and then a big bowl of spinach. And then we're gonna give that a really good mix up, and it's gonna be ready pretty soon now. So I'm serving this chickpea curry with basmati rice. I'm using one of these packs because I'm lazy and I'm in a rush, so I'm going to use 1.5 packs. So it's a good idea to get this in the microwave. The curry's nearly ready, smelling fabulous. Final step for this first recipe, taste test. Get a fork. Spot on. So there probably will actually be more curry than rice, but that's okay because there's a lot of carbs in the curry as it is, because chickpeas are quite high in carbs. So they're high in protein, but they're also high in carbs. If you actually wanted to make this more low carb, you could probably just miss out the rice completely. You can just garnish it with some chopped cashew nuts. And my favorite, you may think it's the work of the devil, or you may love it like me, some coriander on top. And there you go, chickpea and lentil curry. High in protein and very, very healthy. Delicious. Right, and so up next we're doing a tofu stir fry. Now I'm using this tofu from Tofu Co. You've probably seen that packet before. Now with most tofu you need to like press it to get all the moisture out of it, but I think Tofu Co. do that for you already, so you just need to drain it, and then I'm gonna chop it up. Another thing I will say about the stir fry is that make sure all your ingredients are chopped nice and long and thin, because the idea of a stir fry is to cook it really quickly, and so if your vegetables are too thick, they're not going to cook quickly in that short amount of time. So yeah, just a little tip. I'm going to chop this tofu up. So the tofu's chopped up in little cubes like that. Now I'm just going to knock up a really quick Asian style sauce. So we just need to chuck maybe 2 or 3 tablespoons of soy sauce in there. Then we're going to add a tablespoon of sugar. So sugar's in there, and then a tablespoon of sesame seed oil. Give that a good old mix up. And then we're going to use that later on to add some really nice vibrant flavors to the stir fry. So wok is at the ready, nice high heat, about a tablespoon of olive oil. Now if you're into really traditional Asian cooking, you would probably say that olive oil is something that we wouldn't use in a stir fry, and you'd use vegetable oil instead, but extra virgin olive oil is better for you, so that's why I'm using that. Add in our tofu. That's sizzling away. We want to add some salt and pepper to season it. Yeah, so you want to make sure the tofu is constantly moving, so all the edges are getting cooked evenly. Okay, so you can see it's kind of browned off on the edges. I'm actually going to set this aside now. In the bowl there. Oh no! Don't tell anyone. Now we're going to add a splash more oil and go in with our garlic and ginger. Remember, it's all chopped very finely. Be careful, you really don't want to burn the garlic or the ginger, or anything for that matter. Now we're going to add carrots and peppers. Got a handful of broccoli florets there. Stir them in. Okay, so now we're going up with chopped up mange tout and chilies. If you don't like it spicy, leave the chilies out or take the seeds out of the chilies. Takes away some of that heat. So we want to get some flavour on those veggies, so now it's a good time to add about half of that sauce. 2 packets of noodles, which is 275 grams per one, and then back in with our tofu as well. Give it a good mix up. And now we're adding the rest of that sauce in. I'm going to season it with some pepper, and then one final touch which takes it to the next level, and this is optional, white wine vinegar. Put a nice splash of that in there. And then you should be left with something that looks a little bit like this, and if I do say so myself, looks pretty good. You can taste it, add more soy sauce if you need to, but other than that, it's pretty good to go. I swear I do this every video, but I'm gonna garnish with some sesame seeds and spring onions. There you go guys, tofu stir fry. So moving on to our third and final recipe. It's going to be a vegan chili, and the main source of protein is going to be this vegan grain mint. Now I thought that corn mince, as in the brand called Corn, I thought that was vegan. I thought that was the idea behind it, but a guy in Waitrose told me that it's not vegan. Luckily Waitrose do their own vegan grain mint, so be careful if you are trying to live a plant-based life to make sure that your mince is vegan. Anyway, moving on. Heat 2 tablespoons of olive oil in your pan. Then we're going to add a finely chopped onion, pepper, chopped carrots, and 3 to 4 cloves of crushed garlic. Time to add in our soya grain mince. I'm not sure exactly what's in it. A mix of minced grains, vegetables, lentils, soya protein, and sunflower seeds. I just tasted it actually by itself, and it tastes really good. So I'm putting a pack and a half of this in. Okay, so we've got all the spices over here ready. So, tablespoon of cumin, teaspoon of cumin seeds, teaspoon of ground coriander, 1.5 tablespoons of paprika or smoked paprika, tablespoon of oregano, and then I'm just gonna put a little pinch of chili powder, and I think that's it for the spices. So just give it a mix up. Once that's mixed in really well, we're just going to add 2 tins of chopped tomatoes. So now we're going to add 350 ml of vegetable stock. Give it a good old stir. Bring the heat up, and then cover it with a lid and leave it to simmer for about 20 minutes. So it's been simmering for about 20 minutes, stirring it regularly. It's thickening up nicely, so finally I'm going to add about 200 grams of kidney beans, just to add a little bit more protein to there. I've also got a handful of chopped coriander. Give it a good stir. Yeah, and then I might leave that to kind of sit for about 5 minutes, and then it's pretty much ready. And there we have it, the final recipe, this vegan chili. It actually tastes banging. I think it actually tastes better than my beef one, to be honest. Got a little cat over here. Anyway, I need to keep this nice, short and sweet because I like these videos to be short. So I might actually divide this one into 4 portions. I haven't divvied up the macros yet, so I'm not sure exactly. And I'll put all quantities and macros in the description box below. And so just to recap, chickpea and lentil curry. We've got a tofu stir fry over here. And then we've got the vegan chili over here. As always guys, comment below which one you want to try first. Send me a picture on Instagram DM if you do try it, and I'll try to repost it on my story. I hope you like this video. I was a bit scared to do the vegan meal prep video, I won't lie, but I've actually really enjoyed this and the recipes have come out really, really well. So very glad I did it. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you did, and I'll try and do more vegan recipes on my YouTube channel in the future. Thank you very much for tuning in. Have a good week and goodbye.